Okay guys, welcome to Genshin 1.2. Right now they just added the new Dragon Spine region, as you can see over there, that big huge mountain. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over some of the quality of life changes that they made. And I am actually going to show you all the different things that they added. I know most of you guys probably have seen the patch notes, but we are going to show them right here, right now in this video, okay? So starting off with number one, the first thing that we got is a new private messaging system, which makes things a whole lot easier. Because now you don't have to go down to PlayStation or go in messages, right, to send your friend a message. Now you can actually do it in-game and actually like reach out to them and see if they want to, join up or co-op, right? The second thing that they actually added in the game is actually right here under the friend system, okay? Now, when you actually go here, you can actually like just hit R3 on your controller and say, this guy, Henrique, right? Is this Spanish guy that I know. He's actually my first friend in this game. Or if I should talk about this guy, Beto, who I actually met the other day. At first his name was actually Zinyan, and then he changed his name to Beto. So what you guys could do is you could actually come in here and actually change his name, right? And call him whatever you want. So basically he hired me for a quest one time. So I can basically call him hire for a quest. Which is pretty cool because his name will actually stay like this. So you can actually like give yourself a little note or something. But apparently I use too many characters, so they're basically saying that, character limit exceeded. But it's actually a really cool feature. The third thing on this list is actually the new camera that they added. And they said that you can actually obtain this camera through a world quest, which I haven't seen as yet. Maybe it's in the Dragon Spine, but I have not, basically, I have not been in Dragon Spine as yet, okay? As you can see guys, I have not touched anything in Dragon Spine yet. So apart from talking about that camera, which we will do a future video on, right? We can actually talk about this in-game camera that they actually have and what they basically did. If you guys have seen my video on how beautiful Leeway is, where I did this nice cinematic playthrough with the music in the background, it was really good. You guys can actually check that out. What they actually did is they made this camera like a lot easier to control, because it was not this easy before. Before you had to go in the settings and actually access those movements from here. They basically said that they added some new poses or some new facial expressions. To be honest, I didn't really look at these, so I don't know if they're new or whatever, okay? But I do like the ease of access with the camera now, because now you can actually like move it in, do that, and get some really nice clean shots. Alright? The fourth thing on the list is actually the new archive system that they added. They actually added this travel log in the archive system, right? And what they did with the travel log here is basically what I thought it would be is I thought you would be actually be able to come inside and re-watch the cinematic clips that they had when you went through your first quest. But it's actually a lot different than I expected. Instead, they actually gave you all of the dialogue, like it's very detailed, as you can see here. Basically, it starts from when you just meet Paimon to all the way to, the fairway of the Archaic Lord. And it's just a really detailed summary of like them just having a discussion. And you can actually go in and just play the voice clips.
若者や花見でもしに来たのかい?
It's not what I expected. It's a little disappointing, but this is here if you guys ever need it to like come through and just replay the dialogue or something. These sections you can actually like choose your response, like responding to them or something. But this is for whoever likes it. It's not really my thing, but it's a good thing that it's here, okay? The next thing that they added is actually in the character archive, and they finally added Zhongli and Xinyan. They weren't here before, but I'm glad they actually added them now. So for all the people who don't really have these characters and you want to know their talents and their constellations, you can actually come here and take a look at those. Okay, they actually added Albedo as well, and I guess in January they will also add Ganyu. Another really interesting thing, and I think this is what, 6 or 5, I can't remember. They actually added trackable pins now on your maps. So for all the players who have insane amounts of things on their maps like these pins, you can actually like click on one now and it will actually track it for you. So you don't have to like use that hidden compass on your inside. Now it actually shows on your minimap, which if I move, well, actually you should be able to see it. So you can see the pickaxe like blinking in the background, and if you go on your map it will actually show. Even if you should go off, it will show where it is. Okay, the 8th thing that they added, which is a really nice addition to this game, is actually being able to replay the domains when you're done with them. So now, gone are the days when you had to like leave and then rejoin and then leave and rejoin again. Now when you're done and you've collected your rewards, now you actually have the option to continue and just continue doing the domains until you're out of resin, which is a really nice addition to this game. The 9th thing that they added, and you're definitely going to love this one. So now for your characters, you notice how all of my characters actually have exclamation sign above their heads. Now the thing is, on your attributes you can actually preview what you're going to need to actually upgrade each of these characters. And this is insane, because like before you had to wait until you get to that higher ascension level, max it out at 70, 80, or 60, 70, or 80 to actually know what you need for the next ascension, right? Not only that, you are also given acquaint fates at your first ascension, your third ascension, and your fifth ascension. So you actually get 3 free wishes each time you ascend your character to the relevant levels. Okay, so when you get a character to ascension level 5, that's actually 3 free wishes, so you can wish on the next banner, which is really good. I mean, like, some people might not think much of this, but you need to remember that they didn't really have to give us anything. So this is actually a really nice thing that they added to the game. I am really grateful for this, to be honest. Now this is actually another really good one, and I don't know how many people actually appreciate this, but I love the fact that they did this. I have never wished on a weapon banner before, right? But the thing is, now, because basically I don't know how good the weapons are. I know how good the weapons are that, you get the trash 3 stars and you get some good 4 stars, right? But I basically usually craft my weapons at the smithy, right? Now the thing is, before you actually wish on this banner to get a 5-star weapon or a 4-star weapon, you actually now have the option to actually look and see all of the weapons that are inside this banner, right? Not only that, you can actually click on them and it will show you the stats, the passives, and everything on this weapon that you need, right? So if you like it, you can get it, and if you don't like it, you can just avoid it, right? Which is pretty insane, and I love this, and you guys should love this too. Next, and this is actually for your battle pass, guys. So for all of you people who actually try to avoid fighting child, this is a really good one. For all of you people who actually avoid the golden house and fighting child, now if you get the battle pass, right, and I mean, at first, or I'm still not like a big fan of the wishing system in this game, but if you guys get the battle pass, which I think is completely worth it if you take this game seriously, one of your weekly events is actually to fight child. So you can't go around this anymore. You now have to complete the golden house to get 675 BP points. But the thing is, you only have to do this once a week. So you guys, well, the child fight is only available once a week. So for all of you guys who actually try to avoid this, now this is a reason to do it, okay? Next up, this one is actually for the Paimon shop, and this is actually a really small detail, but I think it was worth mentioning. So usually when you come in here, before they had this at the front where you had to purchase these with Primo gems, and I guess they thought that people felt like they were getting tricked or they didn't know, they weren't able to find the parts where they used their star glitter and whatever, right? Now they actually added the star glitter exchange at the front and the stardust at the second part, and they basically put the primo gems at the last part. So this should be put a lot of people mind at ease. Actually, I think it's very subtle, but it's actually a good one. The next thing that we're going to talk about is actually going to petrified trees and ley lines. Now, before they would usually drop the things on the ground, which it actually looks kind of disgusting. It looks kind of disgusting, and it was really in. I don't know. I don't want to sound extreme, but I just didn't like it, right? Um, I mean, I didn't like it at first, but then I started liking it. But anyways, now they actually send these things directly to your inventory, right? And you can look basically when you go to a petrified trees, they basically show you all of the items that you got, and they're sent directly to your inventory, and they are displayed on your screen in a really nice, and it just looks so good, right? And you can actually hit R3 on any one of these items, and it will basically tell you the stats. If you're going for artifacts, it will show you your base stats and your substats. So it's a lot easier rather than picking them up, then going to your character, and then going into their artifacts, or then going into your bag, and then going into the artifacts. Now it's a lot easier. So for quality of life, it's a really good one, and I love this one, okay? Now, this one has to do with co-op, right? And I am someone who plays a lot of co-op. Yes, I usually go in lower ranking players' world. I help them out a lot. I basically carry them a lot in dungeons, right? But the thing is, I've never really been a victim of people who would leave dungeons or anything like that because I don't play with randoms that much. I do play with randoms, but it's usually ones that I'm helping. So there's a huge difference there, right? But now, what this is saying is that when you go inside domains, right, or dungeons, any one of you can actually leave and it won't affect the other player. Okay? I do see some optimization where you don't feel laggy or anything when they leave, but the thing is, you still only have two characters, right? So if you can't handle it, then it's just sad. I'm sorry. I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean it in a good way. So just leave and try to get someone better to help you if you can't handle it on your own, okay? So the next point that we're going to talk about is actually a character which is highly underrated, I think, even though I don't use her. So, sorry. Anyways, what we're going to talk about is one of her passives, right? Which is this one, Trove of Marvelous Treasures. Displays the location of nearby ore veins, iron ore, white iron ore, crystal ore, and magical crystals, and star silver. And the important part here is the star silver, because star silver is the new harvestable material that you can find in Dragonspine. And with Ningguang, they basically updated her and her description here. So now she will be able to locate star silver in Dragonspine. So for all of you people who don't use her, start using her, okay? The next thing we're going to talk about is actually another really subtle thing that they added to the game, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys should be happy about that. Stop. And for all of you people who have been, exploring Gale Song Hill, Windwale Highland, Bishui Plains, and Lisha, if you guys were disappointed that you can't 100% this region, they made an adjustment now where some of these regions, if you already were at a high level or high percentage, it will be 100%, okay? Or it will be raised slightly. It doesn't really have to be 100%. But for anyone who already 100%ed a region, you won't be affected by this, okay? So it's a very slight one, but it's a really good one for all of you people who have the completionist mindset and who believe in perfection, I guess. Okay, so this one is a very critical one that I think most people will like and most people should like, right? Now the thing is, we have Domain of Forgery, right? I think the Forsaken Rift. And we have Domain of Mastery, right? Which is in Jueyun Kars, which is Taishan Mansion, right? They made a slight adjustment at these domains where the books are going to be rotated differently now. Now, what is going to happen is 2 days of the week, we have 7 days in a week, right? Each one of these dungeons provide 3 different books, 3 different talent upgrade books. So for 2 days in a week, they will rotate that book in the dungeon, right? And on Sunday, right? So you have 3 books, 6 days. They won't be like 1 day behind each other. I don't think that's how it's going to be done. When the last time I read the notes, but they are going to rotate them on a more even base. And on Sundays, when you do these dungeons, instead of going through the RNG where they would randomly drop any one of the 3 books to you, you will be able to choose the exact book you want. So RNG is completely out of it on Sundays, okay? Which is one of the best things that they actually did to this game. I love that. And I don't know, I just want to kiss miHoYo on the forehead. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is the achievements that they actually added into this game. So these are probably just for Dragonspine, and not really. They added 2 new achievements, which the first one is called the Visitor on the Icy Mountain, right? Should basically like basically beat this just by going through Dragonspine. And what you will get at the end is a name card, because achievements are all about name cards. The next thing is actually Challenger Series 3, which is pretty insane because I didn't even finish Challenge Series 2. I didn't get to unleash the 5 elemental bursts, and I can't find a Hilichurl, the unusual Hilichurl, so rip to that. But Challenger Series 3, right, you will have a whole new world to explore, and these cards are just amazing, which we will be looking at next. And that's the next thing that they actually added to this game, which is really insane. The name cards, when I read the patch notes, they actually mentioned someone called Chilin. I think they didn't add the name card because they didn't want to like spoil the surprise, but I think the next character with Ganyu might be a character called Chilin. Most people are talking about Rosaria, but they are being very quiet about this one. So this one is actually for the Challenger Series 3. See that? That just looks so good. They added this one, which is for the Icy Mountain, which is actually a really good one. They also added this one is a tree offering level 9. You will get that just by upgrading your Frostbearing tree. This one is a BP reward. Wait, what? Battle Pass reward. That's insane. I didn't even know that. This one is actually for Albedo. This one is for Ganyu, right? Oh, I see. So this one was for the Battle Pass reward. So I think it's if you buy a specific Battle Pass. I just remember that they did that. So when you come here, unlock Gnostic Hymn. If you purchase this one, yes, you will actually get the name card. But this is for those who want to purchase that. And then the last thing we're actually going to talk about is actually the Spiral Abyss. So with the Spiral Abyss, I was on floor 12, chamber 3, I think. And I was actually trying to get my Spiral Abyss name card simply because it's one of the rarer name cards in the game, because not a lot of people have them. I can continue or I can abandon. So I am going to continue. I don't think they changed it as yet, because I was actually doing this before the update, right? And I'm actually really glad that they didn't change it. Yeah, attack plus 40%. So basically what they are going to do is, on floor 9 they're actually going to change it to, you're actually going to accumulate sheer cold on that floor. And to get rid of the sheer cold, they are actually going to add a brazier, a ruined brazier, where you kind of have to protect it. And the ruined brazier will be attacked by monsters when it's trying to warm you up, and you have to like beat the monsters. But if it turns off, it will come back on after a few seconds or a few minutes or something, right? That's on floor 9. I think this spiral bit starts on floor 9. On floor 10 you will actually have to fight, and you will continue getting sheer cold, but you will have a warming Sealy, right? On floor 11 you will get hit with one of those storm things that keeps deactivating your elemental burst, and you need to survive that by, you know, removing the thing, the electro storm that is removing your elemental burst, right? But apart from that, on floor 12 I think it's just going to be increased geo damage. And this just comes on to my last point. Floor 12 in this domain is pretty insane, and the reason why I said that the name cards are some of the rarer name cards in this game is because to get those name cards you have to be either a whale in this game, or you have to put in a shit ton of work as a free-to-play player, right, to actually beat floor 12, because it's pretty disgusting. But the thing is, they will change that to geo damage, increased geo damage, which I am pretty convinced now that it's like super paid to win. Because the first time I noticed this was when they had they released Zhongli, right, or Zhongli. What they did is they actually made the domain, the abyssal moon thing. It actually gave you damage increase for like shields, and then after that they made, when you use like a geo character and you get crystallized orbs on the ground, they would burst and they would deal damage to the characters. And now the thing that's in there is when you're using a shield, if you get attacked in the shield, it actually does damage to the enemy. And now because Albedo is actually coming out, they changed it, and now you're going to do increased geo damage on floor 12. I mean, there's no problem. It's actually a good thing, because these things are really far away from free-to-play players. Like free-to-play players, I don't think they're even looking at this spiral business, because it's completely a different playground from regular Genshin Impact. Okay, but that was the end of this video. The new patch is really good, nice quality of life stuff. We will have a lot more videos coming out throughout patch 1.1 and 1.2 and Genshin Impact on the old. So please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and ring that bell to always be notified. I'll see you guys in the next one.